talk about 2021 and what needs to occur in 2021. Last four videos, last four shares have been about patient life cycle, compassion and caring leading to patient and business success. So basically, looking at all the things that I do, looking at all the things that have transpired in 2020, and then looking forward to 2021 and how we and you and everyone is going to be successful in their healthcare practice, business, clinic in 2021. You know, it's funny, everything's changed and everything's stayed the same, right? People's behavior, people's responses, the way we have to talk to people, the way we have to engage people, the way we have to understand their life cycle in our business, none of that has changed. None of that has changed at all. So that is what we need to keep in the forefront as we go forward, right? And people are asking more questions than they were in 2020, and people have different fear, doubts, and uncertainties. So the premises of the front desk training program is the same. And I talked about this the last couple of weeks. The foundation and the structures of a successful business did not change in 2020. And if you did not have the structures and the foundations in place for a successful business, then when all the chaos showed up, it was amplified. And you started adding services and adding products and doing things differently that your clients and customers were not used to. Things like building relationships, that is built in. I mean, it's one of the objectives throughout the patient lifecycle, right? Building relationships. Building relationships needs systems and processes. Compassionate care needs systems and processes. That's what the patient lifecycle is for. When you have that foundation in place, then you can weather a storm. You can weather going out of network. You can weather a Medicare cut. You can weather these other things going on. Global pandemic, I get it. Can we weather that? It's a tough one to do once, let alone twice. Wouldn't want to have to do it twice. Yet, the people who were most successful during this run were the people who were building true relationships. That means they had structures and systems in place to build these relationships. That's the patient life cycle. That's the work that's getting incorporated more and more every day. And I've mentioned there's going to be very little training front desk people as part of a program. The length of time is the same on this program, yet there's more baked in patient life cycle, understanding your patient's journey, connecting all the dots in your practice, business, clinic, so that you can manage relationships throughout their journey. That means that you're managing and setting expectations. That means you're building trust. That means you're decreasing fear, doubt, and uncertainty every step of the way. Saw a post this morning on Instagram about how to manage a patient when the clinician meets them in the clinic for the first time and takes them in the back room. If you're waiting to start to build relationships, and by the way, everything it said is correct, but it's going to fail. It's going to fail. There's no guarantees. The way to guarantee success in the clinic room is to move all this further upstream. You must manage and set expectations earlier. Rather than trying to wait until someone steps into the clinic room with the provider to build trust, to decrease fear, doubt, and uncertainty, and to manage and set expectations. If you started doing that a week earlier, 2 weeks earlier, 3 weeks earlier, and increasing the likelihood of all these things happening before they ever arrive, then the relationship is already set. The foundation is set for the relationship before the clinician provider ever meets them. That's the whole goal of the front desk program. And it's the continual goal of the patient life cycle within your business. This new term I want to use and this new way I want you guys to all think about it is this trust trajectory in your business. So think about first phone call, right? We'll start over here. First phone call, right? What I just explained to you, when we talk about and we train everybody in the business and we talk to the providers only about how to manage and set expectations and build an alliance and manage fear, doubt, and uncertainty, right? Here's first phone call. Here's when the provider meets them. We're doing no work with trust. This is the level of trust. They're scheduled with a provider at 10:30 for their low back pain. There's no increased trust. lots of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. And they show up and we ask the provider to build this trust and go straight. And my whole world around this and understanding your patient life cycle, and I say my world, the world that's built off successful businesses and every other industry on the face of the earth, is understand your ideal client's journey within your business and then do all those things. Build as much trust as possible earlier on so that you get this trust trajectory, right? So the more trust I have built before and when they arrive, the increased likelihood of success with the provider. The alliance research, the expectations research. I pulled that all into my training. And so what I found is, and what I finally decided to do, and I got a lot of people engaged in 2020, right? Because everybody's saying, you know what, we got to do this differently. We got to engage our potential clients earlier in their journey, and I got to get my team trained up. And I'm like, that's awesome. But you know what else is happening? There's a big disconnect with what's going on in that rest of that journey. And the clinics that are having the greatest success with the training are bringing what they're learning weekly to the providers. They're connecting the dots. And that's what I baked into this system far earlier. Is a lot more, still the same amount of time, is a lot more work around understanding your client's life cycle and getting the objectives in place for every step and understanding the goals. Then getting the front desk training is then to back this out. What better way for your front desk to value what they do, to understand their role in the company, than rolling out that patient life cycle and showing them the patient's journey and how it starts on that first phone call and how the trust they build turns into decreased cancels. I've proven that too many times over, man. Your cancel rate is decreased during phase 2 of your patient life cycle. More trust when the person arrives, more expectations managed and set, more fear, doubt, and uncertainty managed before they arrive. And then the provider, again, remember this, the provider just does the work that they do every day. We put way too much on the providers. So then we roll that out. We show the whole team how everybody's working together, and then we go from there. The providers need to see what the front desk team is doing, front desk team members. The front desk team members need to understand what's going on with the information they collect. I go through this all the time in the training. So I get them to understand we're not just collecting this for the one-time phone call so you can put it in the system. This information has to travel downstream to the providers, to the billing team. Trust, fear, doubt, and uncertainty around billing and cost is huge. Trust and fear, doubt, and uncertainty around, is this the right place for me? Is this provider right? Can they help me? I know they help people with low back pain, but what about me? This is huge, me versus you, right? Everybody thinks they tell people, well, we help people with low back pain. That's enough. I'm like, that's cool, but what about me? Right? So all these things are baked into the program. Program's the same length, except for there's more time doing work. There's time with the front desk team members, but there's also times with the owners and the practice managers. And if you're brand new and you don't have a front desk team, now's probably the perfect time to do this. Keep trying to instill in everybody who thinks they're drowning and they got too much stuff to do. I'm like, it's kind of that whole I'm busy thing. And I'm like, doing what? Every minute of every day you spend understanding your customer, ideal client, better. Every day you understand better what you're selling them, which is not your services, which is not your treatments, which is not your products. Right? And then every day you understand their journey within your business better, the more successful you will be and the greater the ROI will be far earlier on. I'm working with a couple big companies right now, right? The return on investment will be big, but man, it's going to take a long time to get there. They're turning I use this about every week. They're turning an oil tanker in the middle of the San Francisco Bay. You got to think about turning that oil tanker about 2 days before you need to make the turn, as opposed to the smaller clinics, right? One admin, one front desk person, no front desk people. You're the little speedboat running around in the San Francisco Bay in every turn. And again, the ROI will be greater over time. I'll Lincoln, that's what I'm going to tell everybody. Thanks for asking. I will actually going to, if you're interested, of which I will, I want to send you, I actually put together, thanks for asking, actually put together the whole outline for the program. It's in 3 phases, all the milestones that are going to be met over the 4 months, what happens on the first phone call, everything. And it's one sheet, right? So you can see the journey, and I will, I'll message that to you if you don't mind. All right. It is, it's split into 3 phases with probably 3 to 4 milestones in each phase that I plan on us getting through in 4 months. And I'm going to tell you guys this, being you asked, Lincoln, and we'll just cut to the chase. I'm going to start a group of 3. That's it. Because what we're going to do is I had really good success in 2020 with smaller groups. Just had an awesome group, went through 5 clinics. And what I want to do is 3 clinics. As we got the group work together, and the group conversations were insanely valuable to everybody, but then I worked one-on-one with everybody too. It's a perfect combo. So my goal is to start this thing February, first week of February. So I will send that to you. So anybody watching this who's interested in getting started in February, just put front desk training, and I'll send that to you via messenger. And the reason I don't just post it here is because everybody will take it and someone will take it and use it. And I'm a little skitty around sharing this because it's the outline, it's the structure, it's my program. I guess anybody could copy it, but I'd rather deal with people who are serious and want some feedback on it. So I'll put it in there. So again, you guys will see how I like this word robust this program is. It's more, far more than just front desk training on how to manage a conversation. It's a lot of why, putting it together, being able to show your team, then doing the training. Far more value in that. We got to connect it. I probably will, but I'm going to say I'm not going to do just the old school front desk training anymore, where it just, engage mostly with the front desk people for 4 months straight and beat them over the head without having a conversation. It's not going to be that way anymore. It's not the right way to create success for this program. I said it earlier, when everybody sees their role in the patient life cycle, people start to go, I get it. And when you get the why, right, more likely I'm going to get you engaged in the program, in the training, the more likely you're going to want to participate. And then when I tell you your role is to help people get better, you have to see the result of that. You got to see that. The owner, the practice manager, has to be fully engaged in this program. Only way to be successful, right? If we're going to have multiple teams connected, then I've worked with too many clinics too, where it's front desk team, provider team, billing team. And I'm like, team? How about team members? And what is the front desk team's accountabilities? Here's the other thing we'll establish. Your front desk team members' accountabilities have to tie into the bigger goal of patient success. How do their KPIs, their key performance indicators, fit into patient success? So what your front desk team members do during phase 2 of your patient life cycle must feed in and facilitate the goals and the objectives of phase 3, which is the provider relationship, which is a course of care. And then your billing team's objectives and goals must feed into patient success. So having a checklist, what does patient success mean? I actually have a 10-point checklist. So if you can check all 10 boxes by the end of a course of care, then your likelihood of patient success, your likelihood of completed plan of care, your likelihood of a completed plan of care, right, and all the other things will increase significantly. And it follows their journey within your business. So as they're moving through your patient life cycle, you should be checking off boxes. Roughly there's 10 boxes that should be checked off. And the more boxes you check, the more likelihood of patient success. And you guys all know, and I haven't said this in 20 minutes, patient success is what leads to your business success. So if you're not monitoring patient success, by the way, one of the check boxes for patient success is that you collect payment at the time of service. Every visit. Why is that patient success and not business success? Because if you bill a patient at the end of a course of care rather than every visit, right? Someone will pay you $50, $100 a visit. What they don't want is a bill for $1,000. That's patient success. Otherwise, they're pissed off and it doesn't matter about the care. So all these boxes fit perfectly within this patient life cycle. And if you can check these boxes along the journey, and by the way, you guys know, in order to collect, right? Patient pays at the time of visit. A lot of work has to go into the conversation on the first phone call, getting them in their costs, understanding their costs, signing a financial policy. All these things have to be baked into the system to move someone through building trust every step of the way. Managing and setting expectations will build trust. Decreasing fear, doubt, and uncertainty will build trust. If we manage and set expectations, we decrease fear, doubt, and uncertainty, blah, 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 right? This is the program. There'll be 3 clinics starting in February. It's going to be a small group, of which I've seen great success with. And then it's going to be a lot of one-on-one. And I like this program. I've started another program like this, but it's not just front desk. It's business efficiency program. There's a lot of power in talking with other people that are in different parts of their journey. And then there's a lot of power with meeting one-on-one. If you are interested in being one of the 3, and that's it. It's going to be 3 clinics. It's a 4-month program. There's going to be 3 clinics starting this in February, because this is, it's going to be 3 to 5 in the future, but for right now, it's going to be 3. I just did a 5. It was super because of the front desk people. Man, they were engaged. And the owners all participated. And then I'd meet one-on-one with the front desk team. So I want to take it back down just a little bit and see the results of a slightly smaller group. And then maybe go to 4 or 5 after that. Starting in February, if you're interested, type in front desk success. Let's do this. Front desk success training. I love that word though. They've all got to be in there. It's not front desk training, it's front desk success training. And again, I will send you the outline. I'll send you the milestones. I'll send you the phases. I'll send you all the check boxes that we're going to do in this 4-month program. All right. Appreciate everybody's time. Appreciate pitches. I'm really excited about all these new things I'm doing because I think they're going to have a huge impact on people. And it's finally time to get out of the weeds and pull it back up and go, what does this in the weeds training do for the bigger picture? And that's all we're doing. We're making sure the front desk is the furthest ecosystem upstream. Your marketing is too, but I believe your sales, which is your front desk team, has a bigger impact, right? So that's why I want everybody to learn all this, and then I want to really dig hard into the front desk because the impact there, the trust, the managing and setting expectations, all that, the impact of cancel rates, arrival rates. We can change KPIs in phase 2 of this patient life cycle before they ever arrive in your clinic. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. The sheet, a milestone sheet, Lord. Our first phone call is to go into what KPIs are we going to measure, because we got to be measuring the right things, and not all KPIs are equal. All right. Front desk success training below. We get started in February. Happy to have a conversation. Happy New Year. And next week, I'll get back to pitching more and more, making sure you guys understand more of what I've learned over the last year and so about parts of the program and what you guys need to start doing in your clinics today. Cheers.